After completing the column placement on the required location, now we are going to deal with the beam tool. So just make sure before you proceed further with the beam tool, a required additional layer beam you have created, and same we will try to use in the beam tool. So just double click on the beam tool, and the way you have explored the column tool, quite a similar what you can see appearance of the dialog box and the settings are there, which you can operate very fluently just because earlier you have completed the column tool. Now again, there are several pages like beam is the first page, then segment is the second page, then there are supposed to be whole, floor plan, etc. So right now you just focus on the beam and segment page. Now the logic for the segment and the column segment and the beam segment. So just make sure this is a very simple again explanation. So whether you will be working with a single segment beam or multi-segmented beam. So if this is the single segmented beam, in the sense a constant what you can say width and depth of the beam, because it's a rectangular if you have any other shape. So cross-sectional profile of the beam is a constant which is just projected in the single segment, and if it is a multi-segment you can see such variations you can try to achieve. Now let's try to first of all focus on the single segment, and because this is confirmed that I am not working with the second option multi-segmented, accordingly my settings will be there related to single segment. So again you have an option of choosing the cross-section height and cross-section width. So depth of the beam, which will say maybe you can talk about this as a 450, and width of the beam you can say 230. Now overall length of the beam you don't have to worry, you can place that on screen, so don't worry about that. Now after this, in the structure page, you just make sure that by default it was in the rectangle as a cross-sectional profile, so not to worry about that. So you have actually three options. Either you can use the rectangle, circle and profile, complex profile. And as we are already by default it was the rectangular option as a profile, so hence these settings which we have done was a 450 and 230. Anyway, you can now choose the correct building material. After that, if in case your beam was tapered for its size, then you can demand for, you can choose this option. Otherwise you have a uniform size which we'll go for. No other changes over here because the same settings are there. And in the first page now, here that is in the beam page, now it is supposed to be, we'll talk about the positioning. That means where this beam will stay from the current story. So home story is the ground floor, that is the current story, and at what level you want to place this beam. Remember, the top of the beam and the current story, that is the overall distance which you have to mention over here. So right now if you keep this 0, that means the entire depth of the beam will go below the current floor, which I am not willing to do. My beam will float at the height of say 3 meter. That means top of the beam will be at the 3 meter. From that 450 will be the drop of the beam. So below the beam, the clear height will be obviously 3000 minus 450. So this logic you should always remember. Now other things as such you don't have to change over here right now. Let them as they are. Only thing you have to make sure that your required layer you have selected known as a beam. One more option you have to just cross-check before saying OK to this dialog is the reference axis. There are, see in this cross-sectional view of your beam, the 9 locations they have identified. You can choose any one out of that which becomes easier for your insertion. Right now, as I've said that I was trying to say top of the beam. By chance, if you handle this, you will see now how the beam is actually getting delivered. Okay, so be careful about choosing the correct location of your reference axis. So by default, the reference axis was at the top of the beam and the midpoint of that. If you just try to go for the clear height of the beam, that is below the beam, how much should be the clear height, then possibly you can use this logic. I will continue with the old one. I'll say okay for this now. And as usual, the geometry methods you have to check for single segment, multi-segmented. Multi-segment is a chained, is a different, what you can say, number of beams you can place in one go. Not the variations in the size. So just remember about that, rectangular and circular. So of course you have a rectangle and rotated rectangle, or in the circular you have some options available as per the same standard conditions. So anyway, let's try to place this beam. Maybe I'll be placing this beam from the, so if you read the prompt, it is written enter first node of the beam, because this is the single segment which you have selected. So my beam will start exactly from the center of this column, and I'll conclude this because at the bottom it is written complete beam. So I'm just going to conclude this again with the fields pencil. So you can check out now how my beam is totally placed. So now the beam is placed from this corner, first column, to my fourth column on the horizontal axis. Let's try to identify this in our 3D view. Probably if you go inside the 3D view, we may not able to see anything, but you can see there is some change in the wall height. Just because my beam was having priority wise, the material which I am using as a building material is stronger than the wall material, hence my wall is getting automatically deducted. The way the column was dominating than the wall, same way the beam is dominating than the wall. But then why the beam is not displayed? If you check out my default setting, my beam is still, the beam tool is still activated and my layer is actually switched off, because we have created a new layer. So always be careful, just don't get panic. You just go back and check out in the layer setting if your layer is switched off. You kindly on that and then you will get the required feedback. Okay, now what is the what kind of a problem probably I can see, that our height of the beam and the column height. So if you just check out, my column height was 3150 and the beam top I have kept at a 3000. So I just have to modify this. I can just try to, because now make sure my beam is selected, and in 3D itself I'm trying to edit. Even you can go inside the selection setting, or otherwise directly from your this info box also you can see the elevation. I'm just going to change this as a 3150. So you can see now my beam top is just exactly flushing with the column top. Now if you open the section, remember the section which we are supposed to open is S01. So I'm going to open that S01 and you can see how my beam is exactly placed on the required location. So I hope you have understood how to place the beam in a simple manner. In the next step, we will just talk about the basic editing of the beam. It's very simple again, the way you have worked with the wall editing, similar logic you can implement for the beam editing also. But just try this much of a part and then definitely proceed for the next part.